So about a year ago, Rokinon started making really compact lenses for the Sony E-mount system that they called their Tiny series. And in this series of lenses, they gave us an 18mm 2.8, they gave us a 24mm 1.8, a 35mm 1.8, a 45mm 1.8, and a 75mm 1.8. And at the time, I wasn't very interested in these lenses for two reasons. One of the reasons is because it is a third-party, really budget lens company. And the second reason was that I just wasn't interested in really compact lenses, especially when considering that I'm a portrait shooter. And so compact lenses, for whatever reason, when you are a professional, just it doesn't have that really professional look to it. And I think that most times, and this is just my opinion, when you show up with a camera that doesn't look professional, there are feelings that are had about you and your camera. And so I really wasn't interested in compact lenses. All of that changed in December when I bought my A7C. And the thing that I love about this camera is that it is really compact, and through the videos that I've made and talking to some of you guys, that is also the thing that you love most about this camera, is that it gave us a really compact camera and still allowed us to keep full frame. A lot of you have moved up from APS-C because you wanted the full frame, but you wanted to keep that same APS-C size body. And so now the question is, what lenses should we use on this A7C to keep the profile of this camera as compact as possible? And so that led me to go out and purchase the Rokinon 75mm 1.8. Now, there's a couple reasons why I chose the 1.8 to start with, and I do plan to get my hands on and review all of the lenses in Rokinon's Tiny series. But the reason that I wanted to start with the 75mm is because I am a portrait photographer, and I think that what the 75 does is get you about 90% of the way to matching the look that you would get from an 85. And so today, I just want to unbox this lens, get an idea of the build quality, and just give you guys some first impressions. And then I'll spend some time using it, and then I'll give you guys a full review on it in some time. And so here's a box. If you guys have ever bought a Rokinon lens, it's just the standard box that it comes in. And so I do also want to give you guys a price. This lens cost about $370 on Amazon. And so keep that price point in mind as we go through and look at this lens and look at how it's built and just the materials that it comes with. So inside the box, all you really get is the lens and this it's a nice travel case, and then that's it. So that's what you get in the box. That's the unboxing experience. And so let's get this out of the way. And so once you open up this travel case, you do have the lens that's just wrapped in plastic. No bubble wrap at all, just wrapped in plastic. And then once you have a look at the lens, holding it in your hand, you really get an idea of just how compact this lens is. But anyway, just to give you an idea, here it is next to the 20mm 1.8, and you can see that even the 20mm is a taller and heavier lens. The 20mm is, again, like I've said before, built like G Masters, that magnesium kind of material, and it's got 2 rings and a focus hole button. This lens is made almost completely of plastic. So you do get a lens hood, a plastic lens hood, that's entirely plastic. Plastic cover, plastic cap, and even the body of it is made from some kind of hard plastic. You do just have the 1 ring on the front of it, It does feel pretty good, but it's not the best feeling ring that I've ever had, that I've ever used. And then it comes with this really interesting mode select button. And I understand that you can program one of the two modes to do what I imagine most people will do, is set the first mode to be a focus ring and set the second mode to be an aperture ring, or, you know, vice versa. But that's really interesting. I do have a Rokinon lens dock. You do need the lens dock to be able to program this mode button. But even this mode button doesn't feel really substantial. It does feel really cheap, but for $375, we're not going to fuss about it too much. It does have a 58mm lens thread here, which is kind of uncommon. And then also it does not have a weather sealing gasket on the back of it. But again, remember, we're remembering that it only costs $370. And so again, we're not gonna pay too much attention to the things that it doesn't have. The real question is picture quality, you know, does it focus well? And so that's gonna be the question that I aim to answer in the full review. And so I do want to go ahead and mount it onto this A7C. And as you guys can see, mounted on the A7C, it does keep the A7C feeling really compact. It's not heavy at all. This lens comes in at 280 grams, which is like 8 ounces, I think, if my math is correct. If my math is correct. And then it's just, I think 69, I don't know how tall it is, but I'll put it down in the information. But it does keep the A7C looking really compact, and mounted on the A7C, it kind of looks like it was made for this camera. It does look really good mounted on this camera. And so what I'm gonna do now, I wanna turn on the camera. I'm gonna connect it to an Atomos so that we can see, just get a kind of first impressions on how fast it focuses, and then we'll wrap up this video. All right, so here we are here with World Breaker Hulk. And the first thing that I want to test out is the minimal focusing distance. And so here I am about a foot away from World Breaker Hulk, and I'm going to try to focus in, and there it goes. It does focus pretty good. And then I'm going to move back so that I can change between focusing points with World Breaker Hulk there, and then Sony G Master, World Breaker Hulk, sorry, 20mm World Breaker Hulk, 20mm. So what I am seeing is that it does focus fairly quickly. And then another thing that I am really impressed on is that it is tracking World Breaker Hulk's eye there. And so we are wide open at 1.8, and it is doing a good job of focusing fairly quickly in photo mode. And so I do also want to test out the video recording capabilities of this lens. And so that will all be in the final review of this lens, but this has just been a quick little unboxing and first impressions of this lens, and the first impressions of the focusing speed on the A7C. So that's it for this video. I do plan to schedule a bunch of shoots using the A7C along with the 75mm, and then at the end of those shoots I will let you guys know whether or not I believe that this is a lens that you should go out and buy. And again, this lens is coming in at $370. It's a 1.8, 75mm, so I'm guessing that it should be good for portraits, but we'll find out. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is a boy named Jamil. I am Jamil, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned for this Rokinon budget series of lenses. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.